gentlemen, I have provided from my perch here the best counsel I possibly can to this president and to the people around him, and to the people who've been sucked into this unconstitutional police state activity. I'm giving the best counsel I can. It is the best counsel available anywhere. It just is. Because I'm not shooting from the hip. I get all kinds of people writing me about all kinds of things related to this. 99.9% of it is inconsequential. But I want to tell you something. We former officials in the Reagan administration, we former officials at the United States Department of Justice under Attorney General Ed Meese, we know what we're talking about. That administration and that Justice Department launched constitutional conservatism, launched originalism. We made the case every single day. You can't even name most of the assistant attorneys general at the Justice Department today, can you? And you see the deputy attorney general, he's a bureaucrat. That's not the way the Justice Department was populated when I was there. And for most of the time, I was responsible for making many of the lower level appointments. And of course, the attorney general was responsible for the senior positions, and really all of them. But they all had to reach certain standards. And many of us don't talk to each other. And I am telling you, just like I told you, that under Department of Justice memos, a president cannot be indicted. Just like I told you, a president cannot be forced to appear before a federal grand jury. It never has been. Just like I told you in March of 2017, that the federal government under Barack Obama, including the FBI and the Department of Justice and the intelligence agencies, unleashed a campaign of espionage against a candidate for president of the United States. Nobody had said that. Not a single person. You know that to be the case. I am telling you right now that a strong argument can be made. I don't know what a judge would do with it. That's a whole other issue. Look what they did to Trump on the immigration issue. But a strong argument can be made. A strong constitutional argument can be made based on the facts of this specific appointment with this specific special counsel and his specific behavior, that this is a violation of the Appointments Clause of the Constitution, which nobody ever talks about, right? All of a sudden you're going to see, oh, Professor, oh, the Appointments Clause, oh, yes, former U.S. attorney, yes, like I've been saying, the Appointments Clause. Stay with me. I know what I'm doing. Now, for some of you, a very small percentage of you on my social site saying, okay, great, what are you going to do about it? I'm not doing anything about it. I don't have the power to do anything about it. I have to use my brain power to convey information so that people who are in positions of power and people who have standing, that's the key word, standing, can raise these issues in court. And so what I would suggest to the Manafort attorneys, who I've never talked to in my life, but I'm doing it over the air, is that you amend your filings with Judge Ellis. And I don't know if he's just another blowhard or what. We'll find out. But you amend it that not only was the scope of Mueller's appointment violated by Mueller, but that the fact of his appointment, and since then, number one, the original appointment, enormously broad, without any criminal basis. Number two, the expansion of his power. Number three, the minimal oversight being provided by the Deputy Attorney General. Number four, the fact that he has as much, if not more, power than a sitting United States attorney. These are just some of the arguments you can make to the federal judge to say that his appointment is unconstitutional. Everything that flows from it is unconstitutional. He is a principal officer. There's no way to say that he's not really. He's got an enormous amount of power. He's got an enormous amount of a breadth of authority. He's not an independent counsel under a statutory scheme where you can go to a special court that can oversee him. None of that exists here. And moreover, in his case, the fact of the matter is he's not being managed. And look, you can get words, you can get even from, what's his name, from Rosenstein saying, look, he's independent, he's special, and so forth and so on. And one of the interesting things is he took some of the investigative work that had been going on in the Eastern District of Virginia in that U.S. Attorney's Office, and he used it himself. That's more evidence. More evidence that his appointment is unconstitutional. Just more evidence that his appointment is unconstitutional. So there's many arguments that could be made here. And they should make them all, as far as I'm concerned. And hopefully this issue will go viral. Knowing the backbenchers as I do, hopefully it will. Some people say, who do you mean by the backbenchers? Let me just discuss that for a minute. I owe you an explanation. I have many friends in this business, some of whom are nationally syndicated hosts, some of whom are local hosts. There are really good people in this business, and then there's the rest, who want you to think they're clever, they're funny, they're smart, as they steal work that everybody else does or steal stuff off websites and so forth and so on. I really shouldn't even put them down anymore. That's their capacity. That's what they can do. Okay, fine. But I would say this to them right now. If you're going to plagiarize, plagiarize now. Please. You can take the Appointments Clause argument and pretend it's yours. Do it. We have a country to save. We have a country to save. Same with cable. Same with cable. You heard it here first. My buddy, Professor Calabrese, writes me. We go back and forth. And I found his argument, brilliant argument, enormously compelling. I've added my own little meat to it as well, but he deserves all the credit in the world. But we need to push this argument out there. For the Republic. That's why. I told you, I'm on a mission here. I don't just come here to play footsie. I'm on a mission here. My mission is to do everything I can, everything we can as Americans, to protect this republic. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you have a lot of interesting calls here. We have a lot of very interesting, really insane comments here by Democrats. We'll get to all of it. I'll be right back.